welcome back to the channel. It's Miss May here, One Fab Teacher. Today, I'm sure most of you were probably wondering or hoping that this video was going to be about more logical consequences. I promise in the next video, I will be talking about more logical consequences. But I felt like today I really needed to get this video out because it's about the first day of school. The first day of school is very, very important. One, it's important because you're setting the tone, I feel like, for the rest of the school year. Two, you want to make sure kids are fed, kids are pretty much happy, and kids go home the correct way. That's the first day of school. Everything else is kind of like a big ball of mush because it goes like that. Like, I literally don't remember many of my first days of school in my 17 years. I don't, to be totally honest. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about the importance of teaching some routines and procedures on that first day of school. So the first day of school, you kind of want to set the tone of what you want things to look like in your classroom. So I have 5 that I always teach for sure on the first day of school. I always teach these 5. So if you don't teach any other procedure amongst the others that maybe you might teach as a whole grade level, because I know as a grade level, my team and I, we teach the whole grade level, how to enter into the cafeteria and what lunch looks like, yada, 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 yada. Those type of things, you know, that just comes naturally, I feel like, on the first day of school. But these are routines and procedures that I feel like are important that you teach personally for your own classroom environment. I am so big on positive relationships in the classroom. I'm big on classroom management, having a classroom that runs very, very well, that you're able to leave your classroom and step out and talk to maybe another colleague or even deal with a student, that the rest of your class can just flow and it's not a Zoom. That's my goal, to always help everyone who watches me out so that you have a well-oiled running machine of a classroom. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, I would teach how to enter into the classroom. Now, I always have the same setup on how my students enter into the classroom. There's a flow that I have that I like, that works for me, that I have my students do, and they do it every single day. So what I do is I teach it to them, meaning I model. I get one of their backpacks or I get my bag and I model for them what it looks like when they come into the classroom every single day. How they hang up their backpack, how they hang up their lunch kit if they have one, how they put their water bottle away, where do they put that, where do they put notes or things that need to come to me, where do they put that, where do they put their homework folder at. Like, I have a procedure on what that looks like and what they do, and I model that for them. I model what it looks like, so what you should be doing, and I model what it sounds like. I don't mind when my kids come in the morning. You know, I'm there to greet them, good morning. I don't care if they're chatting and talking. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that they're following the procedure and that routine of what they're supposed to do with their belongings when they enter into the classroom. And then as well as when they enter in the classroom, like every morning I let my kids do morning tubs. I don't like sitting down right away doing work. That's just not my style. I like for them to get in there and do some morning tubs for a few, chit chat with their friends to get the brain juices flowing. So teach and model what it looks like and sounds like entering to the classroom. That's 1. Number 2, how they leave at the end of the day. What does that look like? So when they're packing up and they're getting their belongings, what does that look like when they leave your classroom? Or maybe if you're in middle school and high school, what does it look like at the end of the period when that bell rings? How are they expected to leave your classroom? Again, you model what it looks like, you model what it sounds like, and you keep those expectations high when you're modeling these things, because if you slack and just let things go here and there, you're not going to have that well-oiled running machine of a classroom. You're not going to have that. So make sure you keep those standards high and you stick to your guns and you truly mean what you say when you say these are the expectations. Number 3, attention. How are you going to get your students' attention when you need them? You know, sometimes I need to like just make an announcement to my firsties about something going on. And instead of me saying, class, everyone, please, can I have your attention? Hey, can everybody be quiet? I need your attention. Hello, hello. I don't have time for that. That's wasting time. You need something quick and efficient that's going to get your students' attention quickly. Oftentimes my class, what I like to use, you know, I'll say JJ and my class will say Watt. JJ Watt, he's the man here in Houston, Texas. So, and we love JJ Watt. So if I say JJ, they say Watt. And that means they stop what they're doing and their eyes are on me. There's no talking. And they wait for me to address what I want to say. Sometimes I might say, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And they'll say, I'm loving it. Well, that's McDonald's. That means they stop and their eyes are on me and there's no talking. I do have a video on attention getters. I have many. You can make them up. I've made them up. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with attention getters, but you definitely need something where your kids know, oh, you know, my teacher needs my attention right now. Oh, I need to stop what I'm doing and I need to listen to what my teacher has to say. So definitely think of at least one attention getter that you can get for your students when you just need their attention really quick while they're working. Okay? All right, number 4, coming to their learning spot. So I would teach your students what it looks, I mean, I guess this is more for elementary, but I would teach your students what to do when it's time for them to clean up and come to their learning spot. You know, you can have a certain song play. I know I love here on YouTube, Tour the States. I'll put it on a link in the description box below. But Tour the States is always my go-to for when I want my kiddos to clean up everything, get their area nice and neat and clean, and meet me on their learning spot, which is their carpet square, wherever they sit when I'm about to teach a mini lesson to them. So, and when you introduce that, make sure you model what it looks like and model what it doesn't look like. You know, set your expectations high. Don't just, even when you feel like they're not getting it, don't just let it go. I know for me, if it's not what I want, oh, we're going to redo it again. The expectation is this. The expectation is not this. So if it's this, then this is what I expect from them. So make sure, again, you model. How do you want them to come to their learning spot when they're working at their seat and it's time to move on to the next lesson? Like I said, I just feel like it's a waste of time. Everyone, please clean up. Everyone, please clean up. Like, to me, you're wasting your beautiful voice doing all of that. 2, a lot of times some of the kids, half the class isn't even listening. They're still coloring or drawing or working or whatever the case may be. So have a song that just pops up and they know, oh, I need to clean up, go to my learning spot. And you have to model what does that look like. Do you want them cleaning up, going to their learning spot, and then they can sit on their learning spot and talk until you're ready? Or do they clean up, come to their learning spot, and they just sit there quietly? That's a choice. That's totally up to how you want that to look like. It's totally your preference. Okay, my last one that I teach on the first day of school that I feel is truly important. Lining up to leave the classroom. Some people line up kiddos by numbers, you know, getting your number order. Some just, hey, time to line up, and you line up. Some dismiss by carpet rows, carpet colors, tables, however you do it. It's totally up to you, but you need a routine that's going to be set in stone. And I don't want to say set in stone, because sometimes you have to make some changes and some adjustments. That's part of life. It never always just runs boom smoothly off the first time. So, but you do want something that the kiddos are going to be very, very familiar with on how they line up in your classroom to go to PE, music, art, library, lunch, whatever the case may be. You definitely want to teach your students what that looks like when they line up in your class, in the classroom. What does that look like when they line up? Loves, I hope this helps you out a little bit, but I feel like it's very, very important. In the summer, I always use my time to really focus on the routines and procedures that I want to teach that are very important to me, just to help the classroom run very, very smoothly. You're not going to teach everything on the first day of school, the second day of school, even the first week of school, but those procedures right there are definitely ones that I would teach on the first day of school. Again, when you're teaching those procedures, model, model, model. Don't be afraid to constantly model to them what it looks like, what it sounds like. Model the correct way, model the not so correct way, and then model the correct way again. And then have your students do it. Have students model the correct way, have students model the not so correct way, and then have students model the correct way. It's a lot of modeling, it's a lot of teaching, but I'm gonna tell you right now, come October, November, you're gonna be so glad that you hit these routines and procedures like, You're gonna be so thankful that you did that. And again, please don't expect these things to just happen overnight. You know, I've gotten emails and comments, Ms. May, I taught this for a week, I taught this for 2 weeks, and it's still not working. You have to be consistent. You have to be stern. If you have to stop, math, 5 minutes early because y'all need to practice a routine and procedure, then that's what you need to do. Okay? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your love, your kindness, and don't forget to always pray because God will always make a way. Love you guys. Bye.